Hello everybody, today we're playing with the Pride of the Hull Clade. It's an 11 mana, 2/15 legendary creature Crocodile Elf Turtle and has the spell cost X less to cast where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. It has Defender and an activated ability with 2 and 2 blue until end of turn whenever a creature you control gets +1/+0 whenever this creature deals damage to a player, draw cards equals to its toughness, and can attack those that didn't have Defender. So I'm playing Standard Brawl with the Crocodile. I like this deck quite a bit, and the version I enjoy playing the most is the Slime Against Humanity version. And the idea of the deck is pretty simple, is we play slimes, we try to make them as large as possible with our +1/+1 counters then give to make the slimes larger, and then the whole clay just becomes pretty cheap. And our slimes get strong enough where the opponent even on repeat destroys our commander, we get to replay him for cheap. So how do we execute? In Standard Brawl, we don't have much space to play that many slimes, so we're running just 15, though it's a large bulk of our deck. We also have a package for ramp. We can afford to even play cards like Moltender because it's very with how this deck is set up, we do mill or discard a bit. So it normally becomes a second Llanowar Elves in a deck like this, which is quite nice, as we get to potentially play a Slime Against Humanity turn 2. Then we have the package of Draw Discard. This is one of the very important things, especially in Standard Brawl, as unfortunately we cannot consistently hit our Elves turn 1 to always play Slime on turn 2. So we have to do something on those early turns. And a lot of these decks are, in this deck, is pretty much draw and discard. We have cards that draw and discard as one of the disadvantages of Slime Against Humanity. Especially the first line is very mana inefficient. So we want to discard that. So the next line becomes a 3/3, and that becomes a lot better. And then we can get to draw and discard at least once or twice. We get more value. That's where all this setup is. And we have cards like Aftermath Analyst that can mill 3 cards, and also Dredger's Insight that can mill 4 cards. So in the case we mill, for example, 4 Slimes Against Humanity, we now have a pretty large creature. Next we have the +1/+1 givers. Bristly Bill is just a very good synergy. You can actually play a Slime Against Humanity deck with Bill. But this is a different version. But Bill, of course, is not including these type of decks. When you have land enters, it gives a counter, and then the 5, you double the counters. The 5 is pretty unlikely, especially in a deck like this. The opponent will try to almost always just instantly kill Bill. So when we play this creature, we want to have a slime out or any other creature. We put counters on them and force the opponent to decide, do they deal with the Bill or do they deal with the creature that gets the counters. Absolute All-Star in this deck, we have the Ozolith, but the main important one is Innkeeper's Talent. Innkeeper's Talent will give our creatures +1/+1 each turn. I would say just an auto-include in any of these type of decks. We can make a small creature quite large, which is pretty good with our commander, because we pretty much each counter makes our commander cheaper. And if we level it to level 3, it has pretty good synergy, not only with itself, but Slime Against Humanity, because they enter with double the counters, so we get gigantic oozes immediately. Ordinary Tumblewag and Ozolith paired with Kami are also pretty good +1/+1 givers. And for the lands I like quite a bit are the lands that surveil. There's 2, Conduit Pylons and Hidden Grotto. Especially they synergize with the Moltender, as we can play a forest turn 1, play the Moltender. Turn 2, we play the Pylon, we mill a card, and that gives us access to 3 mana immediately. So let's see how we do with Pride of the Hulkling. Alright. I'm gonna have a turn 1 then. card, discard a card. Go. Oh, we can play Bill. Get Oracle stronger. How much value get a 3? Or each? Still not enough. Get some value out of it. Not a bad draw. Only with this that we want to discard our first line. It's not very good. 3 mana into is pretty understanding. Favorite. Will the opponent want to block? No, the opponent doesn't want to block. You want to block? Let's get the blood. I'm hitting what the opponent wants to do. Let's see. Getting my 5 points in. Card again. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna draw 2 lands. See how much interaction they run. Bill, die. Well, you got the most value out of him, so MVP there. See if I have another one. No, we're not taking that. What does I want to do here? Let's make it our flames up. I believe if they go to exile, they get stronger. Not certain of the interaction when they return. Even if he doesn't use it, either they go to the graveyard or they stay in exile, and slams still get useful.
No more distractions. Let's make this quick.
I am sacrificing the cry.
Oh, I've always hated crowds.
Oh, just hand here? Okay. So, goodbye Tumblewog, most likely. Hey, really? Give me a chance to remove that guy, I'll take it. Are we gonna Liana punch here? What else? Do we go here? He has to block, which I don't think he will. Okay, with Liliana. Who wants to block is still fine for me. Wait. You forgot.
A delay.
My guy had
Nothing more.
trample. Alright, keep getting more slimes. And he even removes the private whole flag. Guess what? He still costs one. Oh, it costs two. So. Five. Oh, cool. More slimes. Get on and take 11. Yep. It's GG's from here. It's a low HP dude. Alright, GG's, we got that. We pressure him with playing multiple slimes. And the value of our creatures, because we're in a standard brawl, I like running cards that draw and discard, goes deeper into our deck, and we can discard the first slimes. And each consecutive slime makes our Crocodile cheaper. GG's. Do you get to surveil? Let's say we can surveil. That's a bad card. Like the talent, but I think we're gonna wait on that. No problem. Okay. Two or fewer. I think we're needing green. Let's go, yeah. I don't know why it's a good game. He has broken his head. Okay, I go to 4 here. Alright, keep going. Select the level. Interesting. Still take this hit. I don't mind. Question is, do I pay? Pay the 4. I don't have enough for later. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, my questioning there is we had 1 counter would be a 2. Yeah, I believe the right play would just hit with 1 ooze. Play the Camera of Souls. We level up the talent. We play the Crocodile. Exiling would be Bill, most likely. Or a slime. And next slime would be a 10-10. Right, GG's? Does Kellan remove... That's artifact, okay. Alright. We can play you or you. Which one's better? I think I want the goaltender. Because whenever we surveil the slime, it gets stronger. Not the best card to surveil. Oh, fine. Let's start getting that talent up. And let's get the elf stronger. Keep going. Thinking, is it better to slime or to get the counter? Let's scale. I think this is a matchup. Gonna need to scale. So we can play 2 here, which I'm fine. Make our crocodiles larger. On and now. Here. Cards. Alright, let's play a slime. On in. Do you want to counter it? We can double the triggers here. I think we're gonna start giving it ward. Because blue, one of the big things blue can have. It's gonna attack. I want to play it. If someone wants to counter, it's fine by me. They can rift, so I do want to wait on the slimes. Yep. No problem. I would love to have played yeah, pretty brutal. We didn't draw a land there. We haven't had a single land draw, but it happens, right? Again, we're not drawing our lands. What do we do here? I think we have to play it. We're not drawing lands. We're not drawing lands. Like, this game would have been so easy if I drew just 1 or 2 more lands. But that's 2 of their bounce spells, so it's not bad. Finally, that's a pretty good draw. Let's see the better carry this. I like to tell him here. What's more scary counters? He wants to counter this. Make him burn. Alright. Let's settle. Start hitting your opponent. You're gonna need another bounce spell. Play you for 1. Do you want to counter our opponent? Play you for 2. Do you want to counter an opponent? I like to play you for 3s. I don't think we're wasting mana here. So let's punch. Opponent wants to bounce it. Oh, I didn't. I should have. Should have saddled. That was a misplay on my part. Alright, taking it. Opponent, you kinda need to counter this. Start burning those counters. It's a lot of land, but I didn't need copy nice. I can pay 4 and a 1 here, right? Or you can play a slime. Climbing through. I'd like to hit here. This forces blocks. Like, yeah, I think we do this. Alright, GG's, we got there. Flint and bounced our board twice. We only had 3 lands, and we still won. GG's. Okay, Ketramose. So I probably want to keep for a blue. Has removal. Artifact or creature. I have 2, so no problems. There you go. Now that card. The one's blue. So we can name here Crocodile. Alright, let's go ahead and 4th. Because we don't have that many enchant artifacts. Sure, let's mill. Okay. Mill a land. We play you. We have to pay the. Yeah, we do have enough. Okay. Problem with these archetypes run boar wipes, so we're pretty susceptible to boar wipes. Hasn't drawn white. We're losing him. Missed the direct. Opponent guess they didn't have a boar wipe. That's the thing into these decks, they rely heavily on boar wipes, and we just make them have it. GG's. Against Ureni. Okay. Do we play? This for sure. Do we try to get the Innkeeper's talent and do we scale? Let's scale. I'm looking to harmonize. No, let's guard these lands that are not having a little bit too much. I would like to put a counter here. Wants to block. Board. Oh, we could have played whole planet. I think. Do we have mana for Kellan? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe I do want to do you. Yeah, we've gotten level 4 there. Level 3. We hit with these two. They go down and then we play a gigantic slime. I believe if we put the counter here, we could have even could play the slime, harmonize, play the whole Clade. We had a lot of options. GG's. For the post game rap with the Pride of the Whole Clade. I like this deck, it's pretty fun. I would say one of the biggest disadvantages is you're pretty susceptible to board wipes. So if they have the board wipe, you have to pace yourself. Especially if you get to a point to have high slime counters, ideally you don't want to overcommit. And you can play a slime for a high counter and the whole Clade if he dies. So you have to make sure for pacing. And the other disadvantage is because we have to run so many slimes in this deck, we just cannot afford to play many interaction spells. We're missing the transformation spells, counter magic that could help quite a bit. It's one of the advantage of the normal Brawl or the historic Brawl version that because you're running 100 cards, you have 60 in the main, you can afford to play significantly more interaction pieces. But this version still works pretty fine. If the opponent, we can very easily get to a point with gigantic slimes, and we force the opponent to interact. Is this deck like unbeatable? No, and you can actually beat this deck pretty easily, especially with board wipes. But if they don't have it, you can get an enormous board very, very quickly. Your set of pieces can actually get you to a gigantic ooze. We can play the commander, force the opponent to block, and the 4 activated gives it card draw. Because one of the disadvantages in a deck like this is, what if we just draw a bunch of lands? With the activated ability, we get to draw even more. So we're gonna be hitting more slimes. And I do like the draw package because it gives us that recursion of sometimes we just have an okay hand, but we need to consistently hit more slime against humanities or our setup pieces to make our slimes have quite a bit of value. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below which other decks would you like me to play. Thanks for watching.